A very pleasant morning to you all. Last class we had discussed about the various nutrients which are required in a balanced diet. Today we shall continue with the topic nutrition. Apart from fats, proteins, carbohydrates, minerals, today we shall discuss about one more important class of nutrient, vitamins. Vitamins, though required in very small quantities, yet they are very important for our diet. Why? Because they form an important component of enzymes. What are enzymes? These are biocatalysts. Catalyst, what is their function? To initiate or speed up the reaction. So the same thing the enzymes, the biocatalysts do in our body. And these enzymes, they are made up of proteins and the cofactors. They require the vitamins. Clear? Now, these vitamins can be categorized into two groups. That is, fat-soluble vitamins and water-soluble vitamins. From the name implies, water-soluble vitamins are those vitamins which are soluble in water. That they include like the vitamin B complexes. Under that we have vitamin B1, B2, B3, B5, B6. Then we have B11, B12 and so on. So collectively they are called as B complexes. And vitamin C. Then we have fat soluble vitamins which are insoluble in water. That includes vitamin A, D, E and K. So we shall discuss about the importance of each vitamin in a diet. Why? Because if there is deficiency of any vitamin in our diet, it leads to deficiency diseases. And excess amount also in the diet is harmful. Those diseases, that is disease caused due to excess amount of vitamins in a diet is called as overnutritional diseases. We shall discuss about what are the deficiency disease if there is lack of particular vitamin in the diet. Let us first now discuss about vitamin that A, that comes under fat soluble vitamins. Vitamin A is also known as retinol. Why? Because this vitamin A is an important component required for the formation of the pigment. Those are found in the retinal cells. You already know that the eye is made up of three layers, that is the sclera, choroid and innermost retina. So this retina are made up of retinal cells, rods and cones. So what happens? These form an important component of the visual purple pigment, and they are found in sources of food such as milk, milk products, carrot, and if there is deficiency of vitamin A in the diet, it leads to night blindness. What are the symptoms? The person is unable to see in dim light. Normally what happens, if in the dark we can make out the things. Of course it is dark, that is not visible clearly, but we can make out somewhat the things or obstacles in front. Suppose if there's a chair in the room and you suddenly get up and try to walk, you can like somehow make a guess, but these people, they are able to see in dim light. And in the adult, it leads to a disease called as xerophthalmia. What happens? There's ulceration in the eyes, swelling sort of, and the cornea, that is, there's dryness in the eye. Clear? So why I'm saying these names as retinol and all, you have to remember, children. That is, in the exam you may be asked like name the disease caused due to the deficiency of retinol in the diet. So if you don't know what do you mean by retinol and it is implies to which vitamin, then you maybe have difficulty in answering it. So apart from the vitamin, you have to also remember the other name. Next we have vitamin D, also known as calciferol. Uh, Along with vitamin D and calcium, these are important for the formation of healthy bones and teeth. The main source is the sunlight, though we can get a small amount of it from the food products also. Now what happens? Uh, what is the deficiency disease? In children, it causes a disease called as Rickets. Rickets, what are the symptoms? That is pigeon chested. The chest part is protruded out and bow legs. That is the legs are not straight. When a person that the child walks, it is somewhat curved at the knee portion and lower portion. So that is the symptom. And in adult, what happens? If there is lack of vitamin D in the diet, the bones become weak or fragile. That is, they break easily. That particular deficiency disease is called as osteomalacia. Clear? Then we have the vitamin E. That is the other name, tocopherol, found in milk as well as in the whole grains as well as in the cod liver oil. So these are, like, you can say that important for the skin. Got it? And in certain cases it has been found that it may also, in acute cases, it may lead to sterility. Whole grains, cereals, they are found in those also. Then we have vitamin K, also known as phyloquinone. Now what happens? It is very important in the clotting of blood. As I discussed earlier, under the minerals, calcium also is important for the clotting of blood. Yet we require vitamin K also. Got it? So if there is deficiency of this vitamin in the diet, it may lead to delayed clotting of blood. That may lead to hemorrhage. Clear? So in the acute cases, it may occur all this type of deficiency disease. Let us now discuss with the water soluble vitamins. First of all is vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. Uh, these are found in food products. Most of the vitamins are found in green leafy vegetables, wholesome grains, and then milk and milk products, fish, meat, eggs. So what happens during this particular deficiency of vitamin B1, that is thiamine? It leads to a disease called as beriberi. Got it? Now what happens in this? There is weakening of the muscles and the nerves. So in that case, what happens? It can be rectified by substituting the diet rich in vitamin B1 products. That is, as I said, vitamin B1. The other name is also known as thiamine. Then you have other group of vitamin B complexes. That is, the other name are niacin. Got it? That is, then you have the vitamin B11, B12, also known as riboflavin and cobalamin. They are found in green leafy vegetables, uh, which and are important component of iron. Clear? So if there is deficiency of this particular that is cobalamin and vitamin B11, riboflavin, it leads to a disease called as pernicious anemia or anemia. In this case, what happens? The patient is that is the person, not the patient, you can say, because these deficiency disease can easily be cured by substituting the diet with the important sources of that particular vitamin. So anemia means what? Lack of hemoglobin in the blood. So in that case, what happens? The person feels tired, fatigue, and in acute cases, it may also, the patient may faint also. So these are some of the symptoms. That is the normal day-to-day work or the routine work. The person becomes feels very lethargic, inactive, and gets tired very easily. So these are the symptoms of anemia or pernicious anemia. Pernicious anemia means acute anemia. Then we have got diseases caused due to vitamin C. What is the other name of vitamin C? Ascorbic acid. Got it? These vitamin C, you find the rich sources are citrus fruits like oranges, lemon, amla, like gooseberries. Got it? So, what is the importance of vitamin C? Apart from the skin, they are also important for the healthy growth of the skin, that is skin and overall development. Now what happens if there is deficiency of scurvy in the diet? It leads to swelling of the gums, and sometimes what happens, there is bleeding. Got it? Like, even there is no injury, if the gum starts bleeding, it gets swollen, and then you have in acute cases loosening of teeth. Got it? Then in that case it is because of scurvy. So it can be substituted with the diet that is having resources of vitamin C. Then we have one more disease, that is pellagra, and that is it causes skin lesions, dermatitis, or that is inflammation of the tongue and the skin problems. Not the ringworm, that is there is itching and drying of the skin, scaling. Clear? So in that case you have to remember, like apart from the minerals, you have to remember only about sodium, calcium and iodine and iron. Here you have to remember all the types of vitamins, their other names, sources you can study about 2 or 3, and then what is the importance of that particular vitamin in the diet, and the disease and their symptoms. So those type of questions you may be asked. So you have the table here, you can just remember it. Clear? Turn on the flashlight. So you have vitamin A known as retinol, vitamin D clasiferol, then you have tocopherol, phosphoquinone, B1 thiamine, then you have B2, B3, that's all for this session. Stay home and be safe, children.